Charmaine, and my guest today is an actor, writer, producer, comedian, and director. And he is also known as the godfather of independent films. And he's here today to talk about his new movie, Playin For Love, airing in the Up Network this Saturday, July 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I want you to help me welcome none other than Mr. Robert Townsend. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, it is a pleasure having you on the show because you have been one busy man in Hollywood since you came on the scene with Hollywood Shuffle, which is my husband's favorite movie. And I just want to say congratulations with all the things that you've done behind the scenes that a lot of people don't even know that you've been involved in. I just found out that you were involved with Eddie Murphy's Raw, which is one of my favorite comedy movies that came to screen. So I just want to say congratulations to your longevity in Hollywood.
Well, thank you so much. You know, I mean, I've been blessed to make movies and television shows. Because I wear so many different hats, a lot of times people don't know, hey, I didn't know Robert directed that. Like somebody the other day, I've directed Baps with Halle Berry and different things. And my last film was In the Hive. And this new one is a romantic comedy that I wrote, directed, produced. It's called Playin For Love. It premieres Sunday night on the UPtv channel, and I'm just really proud of it. And it stars myself, Sally Richardson-Whitfield, Jennifer Lewis, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, Esai Morales, and I'm just really proud of the movie.
You know, what's so funny when I saw the name Esai Morales, when I did my very first movie when I was 15, Esai Morales was in that movie. And I haven't seen him since I did that movie back in 1987. And so it was just good to see him on the screen, and it just brought back old memories. But I wanted to say, I watched your film. I got a chance to see the screener. And I wanted to talk to you about the messages that was in this film, because there was two that touched me the most, Robert. And, in the movie, you have a character by the name of Justice who's a star high school basketball player, and he got his girlfriend pregnant. And you told him your story in the film and about how you were a young father, and you told him, do not deny the mother of your child. Why was that message so important to add to this film?
Well, for me as a filmmaker, I love making people, happy, making them laugh, making them cry. But I think the most important thing is to make people think. And so when people watch Playin For Love, it's a really entertaining movie, but I have messages in there. It's Robert Townsend. There's always going to be some kind of morals and values to the story. But I think, we still have a problem with teen pregnancy and young men stepping up and being men. And I think, when you watch Playin For Love, I always try to have a little bit of a teaching moment in there. I mean, the film is really, really entertaining, but I think for young kids that are going through it, young men, sometimes they don't get enough messages in terms of what to do if they've made a mistake and how to right the wrong. And so that's what I kind of do. So there's, my different lessons within the films.
Yeah. And another teaching moment that you had in there, which I think is great, because we know that cheating has been a big problem in a lot of relationships, and how you told your ex-girlfriend in the film not to come by your house anymore out of respect for your new girlfriend. Now, I know so many women that's going to watch this are going to wish that they man told their ex-girlfriend that. Why was that important? Because you don't see that a lot. What you see in a lot of television shows and movies, if the ex-girlfriend come by, he gets seduced and then he's apologetic later. But what you did in the film was to show that you can be a strong man and tell her, do not come by, I'm in love with somebody else. Why was that important for you to add that?
Well, the thing for me is that that's very real. I mean, when you really love somebody, you got to really honor that, and I think, I write from experience. I've made mistakes, and I think that sometimes people look at movies and they say, okay, what should we do? And it would be easy to say, hey, if you want to get with me, let me get with her. And you go, no, I really, it's like, I think we all look for real love. And then you got to say, what is, who is that person that's worth throwing it away when you have somebody really special? Do you really want to hurt them? And I think the character that I play, Niven, I think early on, he doesn't know, and he's just drifting and having fun in life. And then he meets this woman and she's really special, and then it starts to really change him as a coach and as a man. And I think I think in life we all, it's a love story. So we're all looking for love, and hopefully we'll find that right person. And I think sometimes when you find that right person, they make you see life a different way.
Mm-hmm. What is the overall message that you want the viewing audience to learn from watching your movie?
You know what? I want the audience first to have a good time. So I think it's very funny and it's silly and it's got these beautiful moments. But I think, the overall message is one of love, so that, love is the most important thing. And so I think when you watch the film, I'm old-fashioned in a lot of ways. I think that, you're going to watch the film and you're going like, wow, I wish I had a relationship like that. Wow, maybe there's hope for me. And so it's kind of sending a message of hope, but it's for the most part, it's really entertaining. But it says message of love and encouragement, and that's kind of, where I live.
Now, one thing I like, because you're talking about love and encouragement, and this is a Philippians 4:13 production. Now, is this your production company?
Yes, it is.
I love it. When I saw Philippians 4:13, I'm like, okay, I get it. Now, why did you choose Philippians 4:13? Why was that passage of scripture important for you?
Well, it speaks to me. It speaks to how I live my life. And, I kind of, share my walk and my work. I don't try to be heavy-handed with it, but it just speaks to me. And my whole thing is that I want people to really be entertained, but you kind of get a sense of who I am at times.
And I think that is really great. And I think that is just definitely coming across when you're talking about love, because I wanted to ask you, as a producer, as an actor, and you've been in this business a long time, and I wanted to really know, for you, from when you came into the game until now, how has the industry changed, or if has it? I'm talking about from television to movies, now we're into reality television. What have you seen as the biggest change in Hollywood?
Well, I think that everything goes in cycles. And there's a lot of good stuff out there, and then there's a lot of bad stuff, And so I think you got to be really careful, what you watch, because I think, those images and that stuff gets in your spirit. So for me, I look at, television from when I started, there's more images of people of color on television. You got a lot of, really strong lead characters now of color. But then, some of the reality stuff, brings out the worst elements of people of color. And so that kind of embarrasses me. You know what I mean? And so I think that we got a lot of really good stuff, but then we got some negative stuff. And so the kids, when they turn on that television, they can make choices. And I think a lot of times they vote for the negative than the positive. So we still have work to do.
Mm-hmm. And before we go, I wanted to know, what advice would you give a young independent director coming up in this business, and they're trying to, really crack it open like you did? What advice would you give them?
Hard work. There's no excuse for if you do, whatever you put in is what you're going to get out. Mm-hmm. So if you work hard, you'll get results, and you got to always have faith in you when nobody else does.
Yep, that's exactly what I posted on my Facebook page the other day. Exactly what I said. Well, Robert, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I want to remind the viewing audience to make sure you tune in this Saturday, July the 12th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Playin For Love, starring Mr. Robert Townsend and also Sally Richardson. I want to thank you again for coming on the show, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Thank you so much for having me, and continued success with your show.
Thank you.
Lady Charmaine.